All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Top Line. And yeah, I wasn't going downstairs and set all this up to do this reaction video. It's a long day, but let's talk about it, man. The Toronto Raptors versus the Boston Celtics. This was a tale of two halves, man. Let's be honest and let's keep it all the way real. This was a tale of two halves. Well, really, I think the second unit didn't come in to like mid third or something like that. Yeah, the bench won this game for the Raptors. There's no other way to put it. There's two in a row where the bench just looked ready. Now I get it. It's a difference in the starters probably got the mindset of, you know what, we got a long season. It's about to be a grind. It's about to be whatever. And let me back this up a little bit. And the bench, some of the bench guys are like, man, I'm fighting for my career. I'm out here. But at the end of the day, man, that second unit just looked ready. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it was points in this game where I was ready for the bench to come. I was like, please let the bench come. Let's see what they got, because it just looked like the starters were sleepwalking to me. Still don't look like they out of the starting gate yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. It's preseason and all that. But to me, that Josh Jackson, he looked legit. Like, hey, get him he got a spot. Damn, what y'all talking about? He got a spot. Like, Josh Jackson got to have a spot. He looked like he was he looked like he belongs in the NBA at a minimum and on this team. He provides a spark. He provides a certain level of toughness and effort and a scoring ability. He just looked like, he's ready. Banton came. It just seemed like when the bench came in the game, boom, the energy level. It was a whole nother energy level. And so, during the live stream, shout out to everybody that came through on the live stream. But on the live, I was like, yo, I hope the starters are making sure that their towels are good and, ready to make sure that, they comfortable, because they won this game. The starters put them in a hole and they came all the way back. It's starting to look like the Raptors got their bench, man. That's just how it is for me. It looked like the Raptors got their bench. I'm gonna say 100%. Like the bench is in rare form now, but I get it too though. So I get it. The bench is looking at this thing like, all right, man, it's go time. It's go time. To me, it was certain things I was looking for, especially when they fell. When they got down double digits to Boston early in this game, I was looking at Siakam. I was like, Siakam, you want to be a top 5 guy? I need you to go get this one, and not win it, but I need to see that. All right, let me show you what's to come, and kind of like put this thing on his back, man. But the first and foremost, the Raptors can't become a jack up 3 team. That's not who they are. That's not who they are. And then the defense just didn't. It just didn't. But it's preseason. I don't want to put too much stock in it. It's preseason. But I think that they'll start the round to form come regular season and when it's real. But right now, if you're looking at everything right now, you got to be impressed with the Raptors bench, man. Dalton looked like he won his spot. The only person I think is kind of out of here is Bo Cruz. I think Bo Cruz is gone. He just didn't seem to have that. He just didn't seem to be right. Like it just, you never looked at him like, oh, he got a real legitimate shot. Like he's doing something. He just look lost sometime, man. Even though I root for him, I want him to get him one. Get on the team. I'd love to see it have a resurgence in his career, but his resurgence might be none died out. So, all in all, man, it just didn't feel like the starters were just not moving. It just wasn't clicking. But it's hard because let's not act like the Celtics aren't the defending Eastern Conference champions, right? They're definitely the defending Eastern Conference champions. And so if you're the Raps, and this is a preseason game, I know, but you want to see a little bit. You want to see, all right, well, we measure up against these guys. What do we measure up at? That's what I was kind of expecting. I was kind of expecting like maybe a real first quarter like dog fight, like. But it just felt like ain't there yet. Like, but the way my only thing is, I keep saying certain little things. The way that the Raptors play, you got to kind of go, all right. I kind of see why the starters are like that right now. For one, the season just kicked off. But I also say the season just kicked off. It's preseason for the other team too. All right, so I can't give them much stock in that. But the way that they play, and it's to their credit, is 48 minutes of basketball. So with that being said, it's like hard to like. It's a preseason game. I'm not really ready to just empty the tank for preseason yet. Now, the scary part about that is you practice what you preach, right? You don't want to start to build those type of habits where it's like, all right, whatever, man. All right, cool, whatever. We just gonna mail this one in. Nah, you don't want to do that. The bench came in, and they just did the things you do when you're down, right? You just play hard and just chip away. You don't watch the scoreboard. You just come in, you play your game. In your mind, it's like 0-0, and I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna play one possession at a time, whatever. And Pritchard and Howes got hot for a minute there. Thought it was looking like, oh, these boys are ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they was hot. You know, I think Pritchard had 5 threes. Howes had 5 threes. But all in all, though, man, I think when they see each other, when it counts, I think things will be a little different from the starter perspective. But you got to be, more importantly, the number one thing you went into the season saying when it comes to the Raptors is, man, they just had a bench, man. So they ain't got to play their starters 40 plus minutes. Well, Raptors Nation, your bench has arrived because that bench looked legit. Now, we can see if that continue against, starters and top level talent. We'll see if that continues. And if that's the case, then the Raptors are going to be a very, very dangerous team. But I know guys like Jackson, they're going to be waiting for him to get in the game. Him and Dalton, Koloko, obviously. But they're going to be, the crowd going to be calling for those guys, man. Those guys can get buckets. And I think you're going to need to sprinkle some of that in there, man. I was a little disappointed on the defensive rotating with the starters. You just seeing stuff you don't normally see. It's preseason, so it's okay. I haven't seen nothing to say that's who they will be in the regular season. So anyway, guys, that's that, man. Congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. That bench mob is legit, and it looked like that been serious, man. The Raptors are going to be competing for the best bench in the NBA, in my opinion. But we'll see. It's early. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Till next time, you guys be great.